You know, we often think of revolutions as loud, explosive events. But what if I told you that some of the most powerful revolutions happen quietly, on the pages of a book? Today, we're diving into literature's secret weapons, the clever, often invisible tools that writers use to challenge and fight back against oppression.
So let's jump right in with a question that gets to the very heart of this. Think about it. Why would a powerful regime, a government with an army, with spies, with total control over the media, be so terrified of one person with just a pen and some paper? What is it that makes a novelist so dangerous?
Well, the answer is pretty simple, actually. Literature isn't passive, it's an arsenal. And while there are a lot of tools in that arsenal, today we're going to pull back the curtain on two of its most potent weapons: hope and metaphor.
Okay, first up, hope. Now, you probably think of hope as this purely good, positive thing, right? But what's so fascinating, and what research from Luis Alberto Ramirez shows us, is that hope is actually a double-edged sword. It can be a powerful tool for liberation, for sure, but it can also be the perfect trap. Okay, so check this out. It's not just about hope as one big idea. We've got to split it into two. On one side, you have true hope. This is the good stuff. It's active, it's about being self-reliant, and it's what pushes you to take action. But then you have pseudo-hope. And this stuff is dangerous. It's passive, it's just wishful thinking, and it makes you wait around for someone else to save you. And understanding the difference between these two, well, that's everything. So where do we see this in action? Let's turn to an absolute classic, George Orwell's 1984. This is the perfect case study, because the all-powerful party in the book doesn't just crush hope. No, that's too simple. Instead, they actually manufacture the wrong kind of hope as a way to lure people into the perfect trap. And their playbook is just chillingly effective. First, they plant the seed of pseudo-hope. For the main character, Winston, it's a look from an inner party member, O'Brien, that hints at a secret rebellion. Next, they create a false sanctuary, a place where he feels safe and unwatched. Then they actually encourage his small acts of rebellion, letting him get a diary, letting him meet Julia, making him believe he's getting away with it. And then, once his hope is at its absolute peak, bam, they spring the trap. They reveal that every single step of his rebellion was monitored and orchestrated by them. It's designed not just to capture him, but to completely shatter him from the inside out. So wow, if even your own hope can be twisted and used against you like that, what's left? Right? I mean, what can an artist do when speaking out directly will get arrested or worse? Well, this is where our second weapon comes in. And this one is all about subtlety. We're talking about metaphor. And this quote from Burfin Chichik's research just nails it. Metaphor as creative misdirection. I love that phrase. It's about hiding the truth in plain sight. When you can't come right out and speak truth to power, you embed it in a story that seems to be about something else entirely. Let's look at a really powerful case study of this. For many authors and filmmakers in Iran, especially in the mid-20th century, censorship was a huge problem. So they got creative. They started using the experience of illness, both physical and mental, as a metaphor for what they saw as a sickness in society itself. A perfect example is the classic 1969 Iranian film Gav, which means the cow. On the surface, it's a simple, tragic story about a farmer who loves his cow. It's the only one in his village. But when the cow dies, the man's mind breaks and he starts to believe that he is the cow. Now that metamorphosis, that's the real story. It's an incredible allegory for the dehumanizing effects of poverty, for a nation's collective trauma and paranoia, and maybe even a critique of an economy that's become dangerously dependent on one resource, just like the village depended on that one cow. It's a powerful political statement disguised as a psychological drama. So you see what's happening here? This is the whole point. Literature wages its battles on a psychological front. Oppressive systems don't just control our bodies, they try to control our minds by messing with our hopes. And in response, literature fights back on that same turf, not always with loud declarations, but by forcing us to read between the lines, to see the hidden meanings in the stories all around us. And that really leaves us with a final thought. Because these tools, these weapons, they aren't just for novels and films from decades ago. They are active in our world right now. So the question is, what are the subtle metaphors shaping our conversations today? And maybe more importantly, which of our own hopes are true and which ones might just be a trap?